Good morning, guys. Welcome back to a new reading vlog. Today is Friday, July 5th. Yesterday was obviously 4th of July. We went out, watched fireworks, had a good night. Unfortunately, Dobby, our puppy, turns out is afraid of fireworks. Poor little guy was like shaking and crying for like over an hour last night. I was having to hold him. Usually he sleeps down by Nick's feet, but he was like terrified. Our neighbors, unfortunately, don't have any regard for their neighbors, and we're letting off fireworks until well past midnight, and poor Dobby was in my arms shaking and crying for a very long time until he eventually fell asleep. So didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but today, like I said, is Friday the 5th, and that means that it is officially the start of Summerween. I'm super excited. I actually technically started my Summerween reading yesterday on the 4th. I started a little bit early because I never finish all of the prompts. I'll talk about the prompts in a minute, but I never finished all the prompts, and so I wanted to get a little bit of a head start, and I did. I got 60% into a book, so I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, welcome to Summerween. I'm super excited. This is my 3rd or 4th year participating in Summerween now, and I think I have vlogs from last year's Summerween. I will link down below whatever videos I have of Summerween. I've also done some real-time updates on Instagram, which is always linked down below, so if you don't follow me there, make sure to do that. So yeah, talking about Summerween. Also, how cute is this little ghost mug? I had to pull him out for today, of course. So Summerween is a readathon that is hosted by Gabby Reads. Yeah, Gabby, she has 2 usernames. She has one username here on YouTube and then a different one on Instagram. I believe the YouTube one is Gabby Reads. I will have her link down below. Her YouTube and her Instagram link down below. So Summerween is a readathon that she hosts. I don't know how long she's been hosting it. I've been doing it, like I said, for at least 3 years probably. I think she's been hosting it for a lot longer than that. She gets really into it. She does all kinds of themed videos. She does a music video. There's merch. It's become this whole big thing, and a lot of people participate in it. There's a separate Instagram account specifically for Summerween as well, so I will link that below. Also, they also do Winterween in December, I think usually. I believe it's usually July and December. July is Summerween, December is Winterween. I usually try to participate in both. I will have all the links and everything down below, like I said. So there are 6 prompts for Summerween, and I'm gonna put up the little graphic that they share up here so you guys can see it. They always create graphics and everyone gets very involved, and there is a different color palette every year, and they just create a bunch of stuff for it, and it is very involved and detailed, and I love that. When I first got on Bookstagram, every year there was, I think it was like the OWLs, like a readathon or something like that. It was Harry Potter themed, and people would choose what books they're reading based on like what tests they wanted to take, like from Harry Potter. Unfortunately, over the years, because J.K. Rowling is a terrible human being, I don't think that happens anymore. But when I first got onto Bookstagram, that was pretty big. So this is I don't want to say new, because like I said, I think it's been around for a while, but this is the one that people are currently doing. I don't really know of any other big readathons like this other than Summerween and Winterween. I know Gabby does other readathons like on her Patreon, and I'm sure other people probably do too, but this is the one that I know of the most, and that as far as I know, most people participate in. So the 6 prompts. There are I'm just going to go through and kind of walk you guys through what those 6 prompts are and what books I am reading for those prompts. So we'll go through my TBR real quick, and then I'll tell you about the book that I started yesterday. Okay, so the first prompt is to read a book in the dark. So technically, the book that I'm using for this prompt, I did start during the day. I started early yesterday morning, but I did read it in the dark while we were waiting for the fireworks last night, so I'm gonna count it. So that book is The Jigsaw Man by Nadine Matheson. Like I said, I started this yesterday morning. This is actually the club pick for the book club that I'm in. I will link Ty, his handle is Gabby Reads. I will link his Instagram down below. He hosts a book club on Discord. There's quite a few of us on there now. There might be 30 or 40 of us on there now. It's a lot of fun. Everyone gets along really well. Everyone is very nice and supportive. There's tons of channels about pets and mental health and book shows, book hauls, current reads, recommendations for different genres. We do 2 different book club reads every month. We do a fantasy read and a mystery thriller read. So this is this month's mystery thriller read, so this was perfect because I could include in Summerween as well. So I'm kind of covering both bases there, or killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Yeah, I'm able to do that with this one book, so that's awesome. We have been discussing our theories and ideas over there, which is a lot of fun. It's one of the things I love about mystery thrillers, especially doing like buddy reads with mystery thrillers, because you get to discuss and kind of talk about your theories and everything. So I started this yesterday, like I said. I do have the audiobook and the ebook from the library, so I've been kind of jumping back and forth between the 2. I did get, like I said, I think about 60, let me see, I'm about 65% in, so I got a good chunk in yesterday. I am already really liking it. So the book starts out with a man on a walk with his dog along the riverbank. This is set in the UK, in London, and walking around the riverbank, and all of a sudden his dog finds or sniffs out a body part. I think it's like human arm, I think, or leg and arm. I think it's an arm. Then like a little ways down, a couple miles away or whatever, a group of archaeology students, which I think is awesome, find a human torso. So the archaeology students find a torso with no head, and then a little ways away, like a mile or something away, in a neighborhood in the front yard of somebody's house, a man finds an arm, I believe. So they find all these pieces of this person spread out throughout this city or this part of London, and they realize that when the cops show up and the CSI teams are there and everything, they realize that it is actually 2 different people. And so the investigation ensues. The main character in this, her last name is Henley. Angelica Henley is her name. She is the main character for this book, and for the series. I guess this is actually going to be a series, like a police procedural type series, kind of like the Will Trent series by Karen Slaughter. That is kind of what I related to. That same kind of idea. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. I definitely think that I will read the other books when they eventually come out. So she's the main character, she's the lead investigator, and she is just coming off of maternity leave. She had her baby, I think it was about a year before, and then she was on desk duty because she had a not accident, but she was the victim of the last suspect murder that she was investigating. When she tried to arrest him, he stabbed her multiple times, and so she was in the hospital healing, and then she at that time found out that she was pregnant, so she then went through her pregnancy, testified in court against the man, and he was arrested. He was called the Jigsaw Killer because he would cut up the bodies of people, leave random body pieces around London. He killed 7 people, and then the bodies of the people had to be kind of put back together like a puzzle, hence Jigsaw Man or Jigsaw Killer. So the premise of the book is that basically there is a copycat killer, and Angelica and her new partner, and their like small little like investigative unit are having to figure out who this copycat killer is and what's going on. So far I really like it. Like I said, I have a lot of theories and ideas of what it could be and who it could be. So far the only thing that I don't like, so Ray, you've heard me talk about Ray and him before. She's one of my best friends. She's in the book club as well, so she's reading this as well, and so we were texting back and forth yesterday talking about our theories and things that we're liking and not liking. One of the things that we both agreed we don't love is that it seems like the investigation side of things in this book is not very strong. The cops seem to be missing things that should have been obvious, or not doing things that they should have done. So it took like 40%, 45% into the book before the cops realized that the 3 victims, I think it was at that point, were jurors from jurors in the Jigsaw Killer's trial. That seems crazy to me. That seems like the first place you would look, or like that those names would automatically register with someone, or someone would have realized that like a long time ago. Also, further in, I think it just recently happened, like maybe 60% in, they realized that one of the officers from the jail is involved in something that happened in the book. And like, this is gonna have spoilers, but I don't want to give like too many spoilers. So they realized that one of the like corrections officers, or whatever they call them in the UK, is involved, and they don't like immediately go and arrest her. Granted, she is in the hospital recovering because the Jigsaw Killer injured her in order to escape prison, but you would think the next scene would immediately be Angelica and her partner going to interrogate her or find out what the hell is going on and why she was involved and what's going on. But it's not. That hasn't even happened yet. So I feel like that should have been like the natural next step, or the next like progression, the next scene we would have seen. So little things like that I think are kind of bugging me a bit, but on the whole I am really enjoying it, and it has been a good like thriller. It's kept me kind of on the edge of my seat. It is good mystery. I love like theory crafting and trying to figure out what's going on. I love shows like Law and Order and Criminal Minds and that kind of thing, so this is definitely giving those vibes. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, that is for the first prompt of reading a book outside. So the second prompt is read a book with 5 words in the title, and that is going to be The Devil All the Time by Donald Ray Pollock. I think this is non-fiction and true crime. I think. I could be totally wrong, but I believe that it is. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it is fiction, but it's based on like a real serial killer. I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard a lot about this one. I think it's gonna be really good. I'm hoping that it is nonfiction, because one of my goals for the year is to read at least one nonfiction a month. So hopefully it can be that one for the month. I'll obviously know more once I start it. I probably won't be starting this one until either this weekend or later on in the week. But yeah, I'm excited to get into this one. Then the next prompt is read a book that takes place in the summer. For that one, I am going to be reading The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. I have never read any books by this author, but I have heard that people really like her. Olivia from Olivia Reads I remember her reading this, and I believe she liked it. It is blurbed by Riley Sager. I just finished Riley Sager's new book last week, so that is a good indicator. Again, if you've been around for a while, you know that I don't like spoilers. I don't read synopsis. I don't read reviews or Goodreads or anything like that before I start a book, so I honestly have no idea what this is about, but I know it's a mystery thriller. So, and I googled books that take place during the summer to find a title to use or to find a book to read for that prompt, and this one came up. So hopefully it actually does take place during the summer. If it doesn't, then I'm going to cheat a little bit and I'm still going to read it. So yeah, I'm going to dive into that one at some point. I'll let you guys know what I think of it and if it does in fact take place during the summer. Then the next prompt is read a thriller or a horror book, and for that one I am going to be reading The Center. Again, no idea what it's about. I remember somebody on Booktube reading this. It might have been Olivia also. I think this is about, it's either a mom and daughter or maybe just a woman. I don't remember. Somebody going to like a health and wellness spa kind of place, a center, and I'm assuming bad things are happening there. I don't know if it's it's haunted kind of thing. I don't know if it's they're like sacrificing people kind of thing, or if it's kind of like a Get Out type situation where they're using people to like revitalize other people or killing people to revitalize other people. I'm not sure exactly what it's about, but someone goes to this center and something bad happens. So which I really like the premise of that. There was a Supernatural episode that was like that years ago, and I liked that episode, so I'm excited to get into this one and see exactly what is going on. Then the next prompt is to read a book outside. So technically I could count Jigsaw Man for this one because I did read it outside while we were waiting for the fireworks yesterday, but the one that I actually got designated for this prompt, The Honeys by Ryan LaSala. I've only ever read one other book by Ryan LaSala. This might be the only book. He might only have 2 books out actually. The other one, the other book, I was trying to look at my shelves. I do have a Ryan LaSala book. I think that's his only other book. It might have been his debut novel. It's called Reverie, which I really liked. So I've been meaning to get into this one. I don't know what it's about. A group of friends, a group of girls who weird things start happening or they start killing each other. I'm not sure. But I love this cover, and like I said, I did really like Reverie, so I'm hoping that I will like this one. For reading outside, I might try to go to the park across the road at some point, maybe like on Monday or something, and read this outside. Otherwise, I'll count like reading it in the car and outside of my house as reading it outside, because it's 120 degrees in Vegas, so I'm not going to be spending a ton of time outside. Then the last prompt is to read a book with the night sky on the cover. So for that one, I am reading another Simone St. James book, and that is the book of Cold Cases. I haven't heard much about this one. I've definitely heard more about The Sundown Motel by this author, but I have a love-hate relationship with cold cases. I find them fascinating, but at the same time, they're very frustrating because obviously you don't know what happened to the victim or victims, or who killed them, I should say. So I'm interested to see, again, what this is going to be about. I really like this cover too. So yeah, those are the 6 prompts. There are also, there's also a bingo board that they created, which I love. I'll show it to you guys here. So this is the prompt they created. I love the colors. It is very, like, it has these cute little ghosts on it, but more like summery kind of colors, like blues and purples and pinks, which I love. So on the bingo board is the 6 reading prompts, as well as watch a scary movie, bake a fall-inspired treat, and listen to a Halloween playlist. I'm definitely going to try to do all of those. I think we're going to go see the new Quiet Place movie this weekend, so I'm going to count that as watching a scary movie. I'm going to look up some fall-inspired treats that are diabetes-friendly. I'll try to make that maybe next week. And then listening to a Halloween playlist is definitely easy. I can do that while I'm reading. So there you have it. Those are all the prompts. Those are all the books that I'm reading. That's my TBR. Talked a little bit about where I am with Jigsaw Man and how I'm feeling about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this little intro here, get to work, and go ahead and dive right back into the Jigsaw Man. And I'll probably check in with you guys once I have finished it.
Michael Kirkpatrick didn't see what all of the fuss was about. How did Zoe find out? Kennedy told her what Pine had said, but Zoe didn't do anything until Blaine followed her onto the bus and threatened her. Zoe, then being a very dutiful juror, wrote a note to the judge. It was all downhill from there. Henley reached over to the pot of pens on her desk and pulled out a yellow highlighter and began to mark the pages of a custody record.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to Saturday, July 6th. Today is day 2 of Summerween. You can hear my coffee brewing in the background. So I finished the first book of Summerween yesterday, which was The Jigsaw Man. I ended up liking it. There was something that I didn't love. I'm going to do full reviews of the books that I read at the end of the video. But I did finish it and I did enjoy it. So I did already start book 2. I started the Book of Cold Cases by Sierra St. James. I'm going to keep reading that today. I do have a lot of work for my virtual assistant job this weekend. I have 2 big projects I'm working on this weekend, so I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done this weekend. I'm going to try to listen to some audiobooks while I work so that I can still make some progress for the week. But I may not finish any books this weekend. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to do my best, listen to some audiobooks, get some work done. And yeah, welcome to day 2.
Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. Read for you by Brittany Presley, Kirsten Potter, and Robert Petkoff. For my mother, who didn't get to read this one. Part 1.
Chapter 1. Clare Lake, Oregon. The Greer mansion sat high on a hill overlooking the town and the ocean.
Book of Cold Cases. It wasn't an actual book. It was a collection of posts and articles written by me about unsolved crimes, the famous and the not so famous. The site included a private message board where people as of...
Good morning, guys. Today is Sunday, July 7th, I think, or the 8th. I don't even know. 7th, I think. It is Sunday, like I said. It is about 8 a.m. Today is day 3 of Summerween. Yesterday, day 2, did not go as planned. The day started out normal. I woke up, did some work. I have a big project going on for one of my clients, and while I was doing that, I started the second book that I've been reading for Summerween, which is this light overhead is not cooperating, but I started the second book that I'm reading for Summerween for the prompt of read a book with a night sky on the cover, and that is the Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. Started that, listening to the audiobook. I have the audiobook and the ebook of it from the library. Started that while I was working. I didn't get very far into it, maybe 3 or 4 chapters, and then the whole day kind of went to hell. You'll have seen a little quick clip of what looks like a hospital room, and that is because that's where we spent the majority of our day yesterday. Nick had gone and had a bunch of evaluations and labs and stuff done. Also, you probably hear a bunch of noise, and it is my dog's eating. But this was the only time I could film this, so Nick had done labs and a bunch of evaluations on Friday. I think I showed like a quick clip of like the waiting room we were in or something on Friday. He got the lab results back yesterday, and his hemoglobin was extremely low, critically low. And when that happens, he has to go to the emergency room to have a blood transfusion, which happened last month. So he called the on-call kidney doctor for his, the group where his kidney doctor is, and the on-call doctor confirmed that he needed to go to the ER to get a transfusion. So we go to the ER. We went to a different hospital than we did last month. In the beginning, they were much more efficient. They got all the paperwork done, all the information. They reached out to the on-call doctor. They got the IV put into him very quickly. All of that went very smoothly. Then we had probably been at the ER for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, when the on-call nephrologist called Nick back and said, hey, they did your labs today. They had just done them, and your labs came back, and now your hemoglobin is up 3 points. It is no longer critical. He said, I would like for you to still have the blood transfusion, have 1 bag of blood, just to kind of bump you up a little bit, and then we'll also give you an iron injection. But I'm arguing with the hospital because now that you don't technically need it, you're no longer critical. 7 7 point whatever is still low hemoglobin, but it's no longer critical. So I'm fighting with them to give you the blood and the medicine. Hopefully they'll do that, and then they'll send you on your way and you'll be done. So they do that. They take him in the back, get him into a bed in the ER, get the blood going, whatever. All that's fine. Then the blood takes like 2.5 hours or something to go in. They do it very slowly to make sure your body like doesn't go into shock. So as we were there, I was mainly just working on the project that I have for my VA client. I didn't really listen to my audiobook because, you know, obviously I'm listening to the doctors as they come in, and just trying to be present, you know, as much as I can and be there with Nick. So I didn't want to have like my earbuds in and just like ignoring him the whole time. So, but I got a lot of work done, so that was good. We waited the 2.5 hours, the blood went in, and then the nurse comes in, stops the blood, unhooks it, whatever, and says, okay, the doctor will be in to follow up. You'll probably have labs done just to make sure you're good and now, and then we'll let you go. An hour and a half goes by, doctor never comes. It's now like 8 something at night. Or not, it might have been 9 something by that point, actually. We had been there since 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Doctor never comes. Finally, Nick gets to the nurse, and the nurse is like, oh, well, they said they're admitting you. And Nick's like, what are you talking about? I've talked to 3 different people, and I told all of them that I won't be admitted. The nephrologist said I don't need to be admitted. I just need the blood, and then I can go my way. And she's like, oh, well, the ER doctor admitted you. And someone had already come and tried to tell Nick, okay, we're going to take you upstairs. And he was like, no, I don't need to be admitted. Give that room to someone who actually needs it. So basically, they went against his on-call nephrologist's advice and admitted him anyways. The whole thing, whatever, the point is we didn't leave the hospital until after 10 o'clock at night. And we had been there since 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we hadn't eaten anything. We ate just before going to the hospital at like noon or 1 o'clock. And it was now 10 o'clock, so almost, 12 hours without eating. So I had Nick stop and get us Chick-fil-A at 10:30 last night. Or actually it was like 10 o'clock last night, I think. So we probably left the hospital actually about 9:40. Went and got Chipotle, came home, ate a little bit real quick, went to sleep. So I did not finish or get very far into the Book of Cold Cases at all. So basically I'm gonna go ahead and today, like I said, today is day 3 of Summerween. My plan is to upload days 1 and 2. Well, it's technically 3 days because I have the cheat day on there also, of Summerween on Monday, so tomorrow. And then there'll be days 3 and 4 on a second vlog, and then the third vlog. And then the third vlog will be days 5, 6, and 7. So, kind of a summary of days of my cheat day and days 1 and 2. Basically I finished Jigsaw Man, which was good. Like I mentioned before, it was part of my book club's thriller pick for the month. We all read it together. We've all been talking about it. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I have been very generous with my ratings lately. I've realized I've given a lot of books 4-star ratings this year. I've had like hardly any 3 stars. So I don't know if I need to like allow myself to sit with the book like after I finish reading it and kind of process my thoughts and not give it a rating right after I finish it, because I feel like I have a little bit of like recency bias, I should say, and that's kind of reflecting in my ratings, because like I said, I've given a lot of books 4-star ratings this year. I feel like that's accurate though. I did enjoy it. There were a lot of like inaccuracies, a lot of continuity issues. I felt like the reason for the killer or the copycat's motivation was kind of glossed over and like rushed through and not fully explained, and the reason didn't really make sense. The reason why he was doing these copycat killings didn't really make sense. It was kind of a weak like motivation to kill like 6 people or something. So that part I didn't love. There was a lot of like I said, continuity issues. There was a lot of like the police, like the investigators making decisions that didn't make sense, like going off on a tangent or like one line of investigation and then it just kind of fell off and it was never brought back up again. And and you received like no conclusion to that line of investigation. There was a 7th victim that like they never, same thing, there was no conclusion to it. They never revealed like why that person was killed, or why that person ended up becoming a victim, because all the other victims were for a specific reason, but they never explained why that person became a victim. And the book was left open-ended, but I didn't so much mind that because I know it's a series. So obviously we know that what was left as a cliffhanger is going to end up coming back around eventually. Yeah, even though, like I said, there were continuity issues, there were some things that I think were rushed and kind of glossed over a little bit too easily. Overall, I really did like it. I gave it 4 stars, like I said. It was a good way to start Summerween. And I enjoyed getting to sit out and read it while waiting for the fireworks. And yeah, so then I started the Book of Cold Cases. I was listening to it a little bit this morning, but I'm going to include that part in today's vlog. So that'll be in the next vlog you see, but I did start it yesterday. So like I said, I got 3 or 4 chapters in yesterday. So far it's good. It's centered in like a small town where some mysterious things have happened that haven't like fully been explained. There is the main character, her name is Shay, and she is like a medical assistant, or she works like in the front office of a medical office. But she is very true crime obsessed and runs a true crime blog, which I love because I love true crime and I love listening to true crime podcasts and reading true crime blogs and that kind of thing. So the book is very relatable. It talks about how she is very paranoid because of what she does and all the stories she reads and all the things. She's very paranoid and like wary of people in general, but especially men, which is very relatable. And she doesn't date because she never knows who she can trust. But it also seems like something happened in her past when she was a child, and somebody did something to her. I'm not sure if she was like abducted. That's kind of the mystery of it, of what happened to her. But the perpetrator is in prison, and it kind of references to that every once in a while. And yeah, so she runs this blog. It is now gaining popularity, and she is kind of a like a known person in this small town because of what happened to her when she was a child. And she is working with this man who is a retired police officer who's now like a private investigator, and he does some of her research, but he also is there to be like a professional to explain like the procedural matters of things and like the investigative matters of things, because she's just like a civilian. She does this as a hobby. She's not a professional or an expert in it, but he was in the police force in that small town for however long, so he has experience. So he's kind of her like expert that she goes to for things. But their relationship is kind of weird, and I'm getting kind of weird vibes from him. I'm wondering if he's going to be a suspect in something. So yeah, basically that is the update. I'm happy with finishing one book. You know, yesterday was an outlier. Didn't expect it to happen. Unforeseen circumstances, you know. At least I did read a little bit. So yeah, that is going to be the end of this vlog 1 for Summerween. I'm going to jump right into today's vlog number 2. So I will see you guys over there. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know, do you guys participate in Summerween? Let me know down below, do you guys participate in Summerween? If so, what was your TBR? What are you reading? Do you prefer to read thrillers and mysteries like in the actual fall, in, you know, September, October time? Do you like mysteries and thrillers at all? Let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.